the Andhra Pradesh state. We're the fourth largest party in Parliament. We have more than 50% vote share in the Assembly. We have 86% of the seats in the Assembly. So this speaks about a lot of political stability, which is also very important when one is doing business. And the other aspect, which Robert himself was speaking of some time back, I myself am also from business community, probably among the globally probably top 5 companies. And I also run a media company. It's also a successful company as well. So there is an element of business in me as well. So I do understand what business is about, and I do understand the need to support when it requires. And to speak a few words about my state, it's one of these states which is 975 kilometers of coastline. Currently it has 4 ports and 6 airports. And everything goes well. We're targeting to enhance this by another 4 ports, 4 to 5 ports. So there is a tremendous amount of scope on the coastline. We are primarily an agrarian, 62% dependence on agriculture. We've recently had a state divided. Tier 1 cities, Hyderabad, given away to Telangana state. So that's one of the reality that we need to face. Our other important city would be Visakhapatnam, right? If everything goes well, we can develop that as a Tier 1 city as well. So these are the few weaknesses, few strengths that we have. What I like to speak about is the importance of any business community is, if somebody were to come all the way to AP, come and set up a factory or set up something, it's very important that they trust the government.
Just to recap, the way we're looking at Andhra Pradesh, all of you know we're particularly a long state. We have the second longest coastline. We have 4 operational ports, 4 more are going to come on stream in the next 24 months. Saying that, again, just to recap, the Anantapur region, which is the southern tip, which borders by Karnataka, is the automotive valley. And I think Kia is a great example of speed of doing business. We've done it, we've proven it. I think India can move. So again, Kia is doing exceptionally well based out of Andhra Pradesh. Then that brings us to Kurnool, which is our entire renewable energy hub. The solar, wind, pump storage, hydro projects are coming out of there. And post the drone summit, the Honorable CM has announced that Kurnool will be our drone valley. So we're going to create a sandbox from a regulatory framework perspective and so on and so forth to get Kurnool started in that ecosystem. Chittoor and Kadapa is now the electronics hub. We were manufacturing close to 25% of the cell phones in India. Last 5 years it was a bit of a pause in that sense, so we have actually degrown back to 5%. We now need to sort of reinvigorate that entire ecosystem, but we already have amazing players. Andhra manufactures almost 50% of India's air conditioning, and there's going to be a few announcements in the white goods space coming out soon. So it's not just about the high tech, we also care about the low tech. Jobs get created across the spectrum. Prakasam district is where your entire biofuels ecosystem is coming out as part of our ICE policy, integrated clean energy policy. We have the entire biofuel ecosystem coming out of Prakasam district. Of course, Krishna Guntur is all about the capital region. And Amravati, which was on a pause, will now be accelerated. Government of India has been very kind, and we're going to see close to about $5-6 billion worth of investment coming in to a greenfield city that India has not really built for the last few decades. So this will be in a true spirit of greenfield city, where it's not just about capital alone, it's about social infrastructure, creating economic activity of that So Amravati will be on hyperdrive. Works are expected to start by December.
So you have to understand the situation. Anyways, I started my education at street school. It's quite difficult for me to address a speech in Harvard. You have to understand. My teens and adolescent years, from late 70s to early 90s, was a beginning and end for so many cultural, socio-cultural and political changes happened. So for me, as a kid, I was coming from a very small, lower middle class family. My father started his life as a police constable, and my mother being a housewife, and we are a family of 5. So I was a sick child. I had a bronchitis problem, so I had ample time to contemplate about life's problems. Whenever I used to fall sick, not going to school, I used to be at home. I have all the time to think about what's happening around. So one day, maybe you'll just finish my street school, which means it's literally on the street. In a small town called Ongul. My father transferred to the small town. So they put me to another school, which is definitely a better school than what I used to study there, where I had studied earlier. So in school, one day we had a lesson. My teacher was telling about, in the class, the lesson's name is Mock Buddy. It means our school. The lesson explains how beautiful our school is and what kind of school it is. And we have such beautiful trees, we have a huge playground, and we have a lot of things to play, we have a beautiful library, we have this kind of books. So it goes on. And suddenly my teacher turned because I said something to my friend and everyone was giggling. And I said, they're telling me, I said, what are you saying? And I said, I had a dog and I was sharing with this guy. I said, what is it? I said, our school doesn't have a playground and we don't have books. And we don't have any trees. And for me, what the teacher did, she told me to get up, and she gave the beauty of my life. Till now, I will never forget. Because for me, the first time I realized in my life what had been written in the books, what had been said in spoken word, and the reality are 2 different things. So for me, that has become a lifetime obsession to see the gap between what has been said and what has been done. That has become a lifetime obsession. So till now, my obsession is even in the political manifesto, it still manifests. What they promise and what they deliver are 2 different things. So for that reason, it has become such an obsession to me. I lost my focus in my education. Constantly I used to see issues everywhere, problems everywhere. So successfully, I failed in my exams. I successfully failed in my exams, so I could not continue my education. So I had to stop. So the reason was, I was so stressed out, and everyone, all my friends were going for universities in America, and they were doing good things. And here I've been failing. I failed in 10th grade, I failed in 11th grade, I failed in 12th grade. I was consistently failing. I went into some kind of depression.